Aloha, everybody, and welcome to part 11 of Mega Man ZX. And I know it's been a while, my microphone crapped out on me, but I'm back. And now we're going to be doing the Save the People mission. This mission is located in Area I, and in one of the few instances in this game during my first playthrough, I actually knew where to go this time, because after you defeat Highvolt in the power plant, you go to the transserver, and to the right of the transserver is Area I. So, warp to the power plant, and you shall go to Area I from there. And as you can probably guess, the power plant had Highvolt in it, so this boss is probably going to have Model H's second form. Since you defeated the one in charge of the power plant operation, some of the equipment isn't functioning now. If you could just find a way to get the electricity flowing. Electricity, huh? Alright, I'll figure something out. Well, since I'm playing as Model H, and one of my abilities is to create an electric ball of energy, we could probably use that to power something up here. But, yeah, this stage has a life up in it, the last life up of the game. We've gotten 3 of 4, so we're going to be getting the last one here. And it's very rainy, and there's actually a good split pathway you can take. And in order to get the life up, you have to take the higher pathway, but you need an ability that Model H does not have yet. So we're going to backtrack for that later. But right now, I'm going to take the bottom path to show you this darkened area. Oh god, I can't see anything. If you morph into Model P, you can get a bigger circle to see a little bit more around you, but what I'm actually looking at is the bottom screen, because the top screen, it's not that helpful. You get that little ring that helps, but on the bottom screen, you get an entire radar with Model P. You can see the blueprint of the whole area in blue. All of the enemies show up as exclamation points, so like even if you can't see them on the top screen, you can see the exclamation point and know that something's there. So whenever I get into a darkened area with Phantom, I always look at the bottom screen most of the time because, you know, it's just easier to play like that. But now we got ourselves a sub-boss. There's actually a whole bunch of these dragon sub-bosses. There's 2 in this level and 1 in Area M, I believe. And they're pretty basic. They have like this roar attack where they shoot a wave that bounces off of the side of the screen and splits apart, and then you have to jump through it like that. They have a thing where they back up, and then they're going to rush forward and then fly upwards, so you just want to go all the way to the left of the screen. And then they have this thing where they fly all the way up, and you want to dash under them so that they don't run into you when they go forward. They also have like laser attacks and like homing missiles, depending on which kind of dragon you're fighting, but they're a pretty standard sub-boss. And again, ZX's Z-Saber is so useful. You can just destroy enemies like it's nobody's business, you know? So earlier, Prairie was talking about using electricity to power up something. This is the instance, and it's really not needed to get through the level. All you really get for doing this are some data discs, but basically, you shoot a ball of electricity on these platforms, it makes them move a little bit. This is all bottomless pit below me, there are spikes above me, so you gotta be careful where you're jumping around here, but yeah, you just use the electricity to power these things, and that's pretty much it. It's only for finding certain data discs, and even then, you gotta make some pretty precise double jumps, air jumps with Harpooia. If you undershoot a little bit, you might accidentally run into the spikes, and as always, spikes are one-hit kill in Mega Man, so don't do that. But, yeah. The one thing I kind of don't like about Mega Man ZX, that ZX Advent actually fixes, and I think even the Zero series did a lot better of a job, even Mega Man X4 and X5. Like, every time you get a new ability, the game always tells you how to use it and how you can utilize it. And in Mega Man ZX, they actually hide that information. Like, a lot of people don't even know you have secondary abilities until they look up a guide. And, it's not very clear to the player, you know? But oh shit, it's a Pseudoroid. Let me guess, you're here to save the poor folks in the next room? I'm afraid chivalry is dead, my boy. They're valuable sacrifices for the resurrection of Model W. Cyber Elves expose the data on fear are the key to reviving Model W. I am the Model H Pseudoroid, Hurricaune. You're about to become the next sacrifice. Just make sure to scream for me. Alrighty, so Hurricaune, as you can guess, is an electric elemental. You can damage this boss a lot easier with Leviathan, Model L. However, his weakness is his torso. It's not his head, it's not his legs, it's not his arms, it's his torso. And I find that if you use Leviathan's Spike Pier Trident thing, it can get to her torso rather easily. And again, I'm using the homing dragon thing, but it's very slow, and it actually went like around her, and I don't find it too useful. So what I would suggest for getting a level 4 victory on this guy is just stand on the ground when he lands and use a charge shot.
Not a charge shot!
Yes, a charge shot. I find it always like hits the head, hits the legs, but it never seems to hit the torso. So all I really do is I stay on the bottom and I use charge shots, and I don't have to worry about it. I get my level 4 victory, no problem. As for attacks, you know, he has this pink wave of energy that you can either dash under, or if you're on the wall, when it hits the wall, you have to dash off the wall so you don't get hit by it. This tornado move, you just really wait for the bottom waves to pop up, and then you jump over that. You don't need to worry about the first 3 in the sky. And, you know, he occasionally does this little thing where he slowly comes down to the ground and creates electricity along the ground, but it doesn't go up to the wall, so as long as you climb the wall and get ready for a pink wave, you should be good. Again, all I'm really doing is I'm waiting for Hurricaune to land, and then when he does, I use a charge shot! Because as we know, charge shots are the most dominating thing in all of Mega Man. And, yeah, not a stupidly hard boss. I think Hurricaune's pretty damn decent to fight. It looks like you've recovered the password and my power. I am grateful. However, it will take time to reassemble the password into something you can use. Please be patient. Please understand. Also, as I mentioned before, Pseudoroids actually regenerate after a while, so it's set up there, Fist Leo. I can now refight Fist Leo if I want, and I believe it actually helps the biometal a little bit. I forget how that works, but, you know. We're saved! We were just about to become cyber elves. Thank you for rescuing us. Become cyber elves? What are you talking about? Those bad guys, they steal our memories and change us into cyber elves. They were also trying to scare us before we changed. I saw them. I saw the others changing one by one into those cyber elves. So that's how they were able to create so many of them. They're even crueler than I had imagined. We'll send the people back to town. Thank you for saving them, Vent. So yeah, Slither Inc. isn't just like causing like maverick outbreaks, they're also rounding up people into concentration camps and literally turning them into cyber elves. Slither's a bunch of dicks, I just gotta say, Slither is a bunch of dicks. Oh boy. But we finished the mission, I filed the report, but I'm going back through the mission and I'm actually backtracking to the start of the level because again, I mentioned that in order to get the life up, you needed one of Harpuya's, Model H's, secondary abilities. Now that we got the second piece of the biometal, we have his secondary ability. So we're going to backtrack through this area, go through this shadowy area as Phantom. Again, Phantom he's pretty damn aggressive in combat. He has a lot of kunais. You can pretty much throw kunais infinitely, and he never runs out, and it fills the screen. It's just like a constant stream of like gunfire. And if you're fighting an enemy who doesn't have a long invulnerability period, you can shave them down really quickly. Another thing to remember, Phantom can stick to ceilings as well. So if for some reason you want to cling to it, you just hold up when you jump up to a ceiling, and he'll hang on and rain down some blades, you know? Phantoms can be pretty damn useful. He doesn't have an he doesn't have an elemental power or whatever, but he's still pretty good. But now we're back at the start of the level already. All you had to do was take that little doorway pathway and we're already out. Since there's no way in unless you somehow defy gravity and somehow crawl in, but that's not possible, so, you know. So now we're going to take the high pathway in order to get to the power-up, the life-up upgrade. And coming up is actually a whole bunch of spikes, and you need Model H's glide ability to maneuver through them because they go at an angle, and if you just try to dash jump, you're going to run into spikes. So activate hover with the A button when you jump, and then carefully maneuver past. Ugh. One hit kill galore. I do not like that area. But we got Harpuya's secondary ability, and I mentioned this before, but you basically charge up your weapon until you have like a golden yellow aura, and then you hold up on the control pad and then let go in order to do your ability. You can't just charge it up to yellow and let go. That won't do anything. That will just create the electric ball of energy that he's always been creating. You have to hold up on the control pad and then let go in order to create this giant wind tornado that we're going to be doing later. And the game never explains this, and even the instruction manuals don't explain this at all. Again, this is another good thing that ZX Advent really fixes in the sequel. In the sequel, they not only make you get used to those abilities by having like a tutorial segment, like as soon as you get an ability, it's like, oh, you can't get through this area until you do this new thing that your biometal can do. Why don't you try it out, player? But also in ZX Advent, you can push pause, go to the left, and there's like a whole list of things you can see that your character can do. So, you know, ZX has its problems. It's still a totally playable game, but it just doesn't explain enough, you know. As you can tell, this area has lots of wind, so just be careful that when you're standing around, your character's constantly getting pushed to the left, and, you know, don't fall into pits. I don't think I need to explain that, but don't fall into pits. Anyway, in order to get the life up, you have to have Model H's secondary ability, which we got, and now hold the button, hold up, let go, and he creates that vertical tornado, and it levitates this platform. And if we levitate the platform one more time, it'll take us higher, past those spikes, and booyah. We got the fourth life up of the game, the final life up of the game. Our health bar is the highest it can possibly be, and we're one healthy Mega Man, if I do say so myself. Model H's secondary ability is actually really damaging. It's pretty much as good as Storm Tornado was in the original Mega Man X. I'll just say this, I'm not going to use it in the final boss, but if you use Harpuya's secondary ability on the final boss, you're pretty much guaranteed to win, because it's basically the win button. If you use the tornado on the final boss in the game, get ready to just be amazed how quickly the fight ends and how little effort you had to put in. Oh my god, that tornado is so friggin' useful, but again, when I get to the final boss, I'll fight it properly. But now we have defeated 6 of 8 Pseudoroids, and now we're going to do Protect the Lab. Why Protect the Lab? Well, Attack the Excavators is actually the most amount of effort on my part. There's a sub-tank there that takes a lot of effort to get. The level 4 victory of that boss is a lot harder to pull off, so I'm just like, I'll save the worst for last. Instead, we're going to the lab, and we're going to fight the non-elemental boss and get the second piece of Phantom's biometal, and it tells you to go to Area L. Now, where is Area L, you might ask? I'll give you some time to think about it. We've seen it before, maybe you remember. But I'll give you a few seconds. See if you can piece it together. Did you get it? Area L is in the middle of the amusement park where we fought Purprill. It's in the middle of an established level where we fought a Pseudoroid, which makes it completely different from the other Pseudoroid encounters, because, like, every time it's usually from, like, Area A or Area C in order to get to a Pseudoroid, and this time it's actually in the middle of an established level. You could be damn Skippy, I forgot Area L was a thing in the amusement park. I didn't even notice the Area L sign. It took me forever to get to this. I may have used a guide just to find out where to go, because they don't tell you, go to the amusement park, because that's where Area L is. Ugh. But we'll be joining the Metul Amusement Park once again in Part 12. See you then.